What's up? What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your man, Jelani JB Bodie. This is another episode of the Wait a Minute Show where we talk about sports and who knows what else I might get into or Mo might get me into because he's crazy. Let's just say that. Now, he'll probably come out here and defend himself in just a moment, but you don't need to worry about all that. Just trust me. Trust me when I say that. But welcome to the show. If you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, make sure notifications are on, right? So you get notified when something new pops up. So make sure that you did all that. But having said all that, I want to get into introducing a guy who runs the things behind the scenes, but he's coming out in the front to let us know he's here. Big Mo is in the building. What's up, Mo?
What's up, JB?
Good.
That ain't crazy. That's just my picks. Bad week bad week for me with the parlay cards.
Okay. All right. You get them next week. Yeah. Next week.
I always do.
See the positivity that I'm putting out there next week. You'll get them. You get back at them. Mo, we got a few things that we're going to talk about, and we're going to get to them in just a second. But this had just dropped before we jumped on. James Franklin, as you already know, Mo, that James Franklin has been relieved of his duties as the Penn State head coach. So
surprise.
It ain't happening. Now we were just talking about this a couple weeks ago, I think. And yeah, about was he in trouble? I think we both agreed that he was in trouble. The UCLA thing, really hurt. And it's just like what could go wrong to where they'll just go ahead and move on? Let's play some smart kids. And they lose to Northwestern, right? That'll do it. That will do it. Losing a game to Northwestern. Now, he going to be all right. He going to be all right. What's the song? He going to be all right.
Financially, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, financially. He'll be all right. Job-wise, too. But $50 million is the payout. We know, they gave $50 million basically just to go away and all this stuff. I will go away for $50 million. Not saying that I would be happy about it, but I will go away for $50 million. It ain't all that bad. I think he'll still get into coaching. But at the end of the day, what'd you say?
I said, I'm pop 50 million. I'm pop locking. I ain't never got to coach again. I mean,
well, it's in his blood, man. It's in his blood. So
I go there with the marching band.
Yeah, he really wants to do it. But I said before, I never wish for anybody to get fired. I know people who are out there that did want him gone. But at the end of the day, this is what you're paid to win games. You're paid to have a certain amount of success. And that just wasn't happening. So the business side of it, they were like, he got to go. So I can't fault them on that. When you look at what his record was, it was not great against ranked opponents. It was his seasons came to an abrupt end when they were not supposed to. So the games that they were trying to pay him to win, he wasn't winning them. What you think about that?
I mean, you lose 2 consecutive games that you were favored by 20 points back to back. I mean, am I wrong about that? I mean, that's back to back. You favored by 20. It's dude,
favor.
Come on.
It don't even matter if you 10. You favored.
You favored. Back to back games, man. You can't do that. It's college football. It's college football. They're making a lot of changes to the structure of how they're doing the playoffs, and everybody seems to be getting a fast shake, and you missing out on the opportunity. So. Nah, listen, we paid too much money we owe you for that, for these results. So
yeah,
we're going to dig in the bank a little bit deeper and we're going to try to find a solution.
Ain't that crazy? Somebody got that money somewhere.
Yeah. Oh man, come on. You know they got the money.
Must be nice. Nice.
You're not firing that man if you don't.
Let me flip this though. Here's what I want to say. I get it, and I said that, you know, I understand why they made the move. Looking at the lay of the land, it's like, yeah, he got to go. They've given him multiple chances, so I really can't defend James Franklin, too much. And no one, I don't think anyone just dislikes him as a person or anything like that. He wasn't running around doing crazy stuff on campus or off campus or anything like that. This really just came down to wins and losses. So here's what I'm going to ask you, Mo, because yeah, that's great. For some people, that's what they're thinking. Yeah, that's great. James Franklin is gone, but who are you going to get? And here's the thing, the bar is not what James Franklin was doing. You're not going to get one. You're not going to get the deal that he got. He earned that
Hmm.
from what he did. But when you come in, that's not the bar. Your bar is to beat Michigan. Your bar is to beat Ohio State. Your bar is to make the playoffs, and your bar is to win a championship and take this recruitment because Pennsylvania and surrounding areas they are known for football in that area, and Penn State is known for getting players. I mean, you look at just they've had Micah there, they've had LeVar Arrington, they've
Hmm.
had Saquon. They just got this one kid that just left. He played for the Giants. Why am I forgetting his name right now? He played linebacker. I mean, they've had a plethora of talent that has come through there, so they're not voided of talent. So whoever comes in here, this is just my thing. I'm just saying, be careful what you wish for, because whoever is coming in next year, I don't want to hear no. Oh, I got to get this. I'm talking about from the fans. Of course, the coach
Right.
that's coming in, the coach got to put their culture, in there. But this is the bar, and if that coach comes in and doesn't reach the success that James Franklin at least had, then you got to look at, like, hmm, maybe we should have kept him. I'm just playing devil's advocate a little bit. I'm just playing. I'm just saying, because who are they going to get? Who
I
right
mean, you
now?
gotta wait. You gotta go interim and just wait and see what happens with the rest of the season, and see what becomes available. I don't know. That's a tough one for me. I can't.
You know
I
who they're
can't
going to
answer
throw
that
out
question.
there? You already know who
Who?
they're gonna throw out there. Let's go get Saban. Bring him back. Bring old Saban back.
Ah,
I don't think he's
I don't.
doing
I
it.
don't think that. No, I don't. I don't
Yeah,
think you do it. Not for Penn State. I don't think you're doing that.
I think
I don't
he
think you're
enjoying
doing that. I think
himself
he
on
want to
that
get back
desk.
in. He want to get back in the SEC and cut up if he come back to football.
Yeah,
But him, I mean, Belichick will be available next year. I mean,
they don't, they don't
you
want to
know
do
what?
that either.
We'll talk about it later. But somebody may be looking for a job. You know.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'm just saying. Yeah, who are you gonna get? That's gonna be
yeah.
interesting.
You
All
calling the
right,
big leagues
so
for that.
that drop. I'm gonna drop another one on you. Mo don't know about this one because this one just came in literally before we came on. But Brian Branch from my Detroit Lions got a 1 game suspension for his post game fight in Sunday Night Football against the Chiefs.
They came
Your
quick.
thought,
It was quick. I mean, who was it? He had
Juju?
Juju Smith Schuster. Yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have got a fine instead. But I mean, yeah, you can't do that. You can't do that. I
Yeah.
mean, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. It was just too easy for them to make that decision. So yeah,
So
you can't do
obviously,
that. I mean, Dan Campbell, he came out. I think he made some comments about the incident, just
yeah,
not quite defending him. I love the
right,
kid, but you can't do that.
yeah,
So yeah,
and
that was crazy.
obviously my team is in the background. Here's what I'm gonna say about it really quick. Yeah, had to, because this is the thing. Brian got to figure out, and he said something about it was a childish act and everything, and it actually was. It's just immature, and you got to grow up, and I get it, frustration and all that. But the reason he got 1 game, Mo, is because this is not his first time doing something. He's gotten in trouble before, not like bad trouble, but he's gotten in trouble for things he's done on the field. So this was just a combination, or of things, and then now you punch somebody or slap them, however way you want to
Hmm.
put it. Unfortunately, yeah, this is what comes with it. And what were we talking about? Consequences and repercussions, from
Hmm.
from your actions and everything. and this is just one of them. And I'm hoping he picked this up. I hope he learns from it and it doesn't, happen again, because now you saw that secondary is in trouble. They're trying to do the same thing that they were doing last year, and you're out because of something you did, not an injury or anything like that. Your actions put you out, and now your team is out there, one more person down next week against who we got. I think we got Tampa. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're
you can't have
feisty and
that
hungry.
with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is coming. So
I think he getting a weapon or two back too, right?
well, he may get Chris Godwin back. Uh, Emeka Ibuka. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. He had a hamstring injury, so I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He might not, but it doesn't matter. Baker been balling. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't got no problem with it. Yeah, give him one game, have him sit down, and he got to deal with the consequences of his actions. Just can't have that. You can't do
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Normally, I like to see players just get a little aggressive like that, but I mean, it's a line, and it's a fine line. It's a
Right.
fine line. Show some emotion. Let me know that you care. Let me know that you upset about losing this game or being in that situation. But I don't know I don't know the full context behind what happened.
It's
So
still overboard. It's
it
still
is. I
overboard.
mean, just based on what I saw.
Yeah.
But
Unless
you know,
Juju just says something really grimy, disrespectful, like,
they
you
say all
know,
kind of stuff, man. And he probably
I
did. You never know.
but that's what I'm saying. Unless it was something like that, and Brian hasn't come out to say anything like that. So that's what I'm saying.
Hmm.
I don't think it's that. So yeah, he let emotions get the best of him. So
Yeah, take that off the camera, man.
yeah.
Catch you
Hey,
going to the bus.
somebody that headed to the bus and is not coming back is Brian Callahan. So let's get into week 6, right? Week 6 of the NFL. Some things that popped off. I just mentioned Brian Callahan because that just happened as well. He got released from the Tennessee Titans, no longer the coach of that. Now, I didn't even know this. I didn't even realize this, is that this dude was 4-19 in his tenure there. Yeah, there's a reason they got the number 1 overall pick. You get Cam Ward, and then they come in and I mean, Cam said it himself. He said they played like, poo emoji and butt cheeks and all that stuff. And watching them, especially this past week, it was bad. And again, this is another coach that moved on, but a little bit different though. They moved on from Mike Vrabel for Brian Callahan, and you never know what type of coach you're going to get until that person actually is the head coach. I know from experience. We're not going to go into that, but yes, it was not successful. I think the Titans really just said, let's go ahead and get ahead of this thing because we don't want to completely start Cam over 2-3 years down the road. Let's just go ahead and start him over right now. He's 6 games in. We can use the rest of the 11 games that we got to kind of do that reboot, get another coach in there, and then hopefully some things turn around. So again, it's one of those things. It's the business side of it. They should be and Tennessee's defense isn't too bad, so they should be playing a lot better. So when it's not happening, that's on the coach. So that's one thing. The other thing that's going on in the NFL, it's real early, but Mo, we gonna start talking about MVP. Mo, who is your MVP at week 6? At week 6. Now again, this list can change. It can change. But right now, who you feeling that could possibly take this thing all the way to the house and win MVP?
All week I've been saying Baker Mayfield was the MVP. And I've been saying that it's Baker Mayfield with Dakota Prescott right there
Mm.
kind of on his heels.
Mm.
Yesterday, everything changed. I
Mm.
still got Baker Mayfield here as my MVP. Of course, Dak took a step back,
Okay.
but
You sound like you're about to pull out a third person.
I'm about to pull out a third person because after last night, man,
Be careful. Watch your mouth.
I mean, Pat Mahomes, and I see them, they, we're going to talk about the Chiefs later, I'm assuming.
No.
But I see him I don't see him tapering off. I think they just reached that point in the season where they're like, okay, let's pull it back together. Let's remind people who we were. No, we're not falling off. And if he stay on that trajectory, then it's gonna be a race. Baker Mayfield, Pat Mahomes. But right now, Baker Mayfield, I think he got it sold up. And to be honest, I don't even think it's close. I don't
Hey,
think it's
man,
close.
I'm gonna tell
I mean,
you right
I've
now.
heard Drake May's name thrown around, but give me Baker Mayfield.
Okay, I thought you were about to say Patrick Mahomes, and that's where I was just gonna go ahead and sign off and say we don't need to record anything else.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Give me about 3 weeks.
Yet it's not
Not
happening,
yet.
bro. It's Baker Mayfield. I'm there with you, but it's not anybody else right now. I hear Dak, but they lost, to the Panthers. I hear you talking about Pat Mahomes. I just think he's still climbing a hill right now. And here's the other reason why I take Pat Mahomes out of it. You've heard me talk about this before. The politics that comes with, with this thing. He's won it before. So at a point, it's like LeBron. At some point, you kind of, yeah, it's cool to throw them in there, but they've been there, done that. So it's usually just like who has the a better shot now because everybody started getting tired of that person. So that's one of the reasons I'm taking Pat out of there. But the other reason I'm taking him and I'm putting Baker in there right now is because, like you just said, they balling 5-1 right now. Obviously, is in first place in their division. I think they're first place in the NFC as well. Don't get me lying on here, but I'm pretty sure that they are. Baker Mayfield right now
They are.
is on pace to be over 4,000 yards in passing, over 35 touchdowns, and right now he only has one interception.
Yeah.
One interception. Now, also, what I'm going to add to that is what he's doing is that where you start winning the MVP is when you start cashing in on moments. And I know it hurts, but playing against the 49ers and that 3rd and 14 where he scrambled, that's MVP stuff, bro.
It
Like
is. It
that's
is.
stuff you normally don't get away with, in the league unless you own one. Um, the game against the Jets, although the Jets, aren't that good, but they blocked that field goal in for a touchdown. That game normally is over. And Baker went out there and went down the field and cashed in. So like right now, Baker is capable of anything. So that's my whole point why I put Baker up there right now is that he's had some injuries. He hasn't had all of his guys. Mike Evans, hasn't been there. Chris Godwin hasn't been there. He's doing this with a rookie, although he's balling. He's doing it with a rookie. This dude, Tez Johnson, like he's finding people. Just Tez Johnson. And the crazy part about it, I don't know if you heard this. Tez was talking about they were chanting MVP, and he thought they were calling for him.
Hmm.
Like, Tez, if you don't go sit your butt down, like, no, no,
Yeah.
they not.
I think with
But
Baker, man.
he's doing it right now.
He's doing more with less. He's doing more with less. And I think the problem with Mahomes is and I get it, he's won MVP before, but I don't think the
Mhm.
schedule is strong enough down the stretch. And I think with everything that Baker Mayfield has to overcome with all of the injuries, his schedule, the games that he's already won, the fashion in which he's won those games, it's a strong argument. And again, I don't think it's close at this point. After
Yeah.
yesterday, watching what the Panthers did with the Cowboys, and I'm not even gonna put that game on Dak, but schedules matter. Win losses, the win loss column matters. All of that matters. You can't lose to the
Yeah.
Panthers. You just can't,
Yeah. Yeah. I hope they
especially when you're in the MVP race. I mean, I
true.
don't think it's going to, have an impact, later on as far as playoff seed and whatnot, or playoff schedule and all that. But MVP, nah, go ahead and you gotta really come with some strong performances to overcome that.
Yeah. All right. Mo has spoken. Let's move on and talk about some regret. Mo, you ever had regret in your life?
Absolutely.
Okay, not me. I don't think I regretted anything.
Okay. All right. I can't share
Um,
mine on the air, but yeah, I have some that come to mind. You bringing up some trauma right now. So yeah, I
oh,
got
well, it could
regrets.
be trauma. Could be trauma for some of these ball clubs out there, which is a regrettable offense. These franchises, Mo, let's talk about it,
Okay.
and these quarterback situations. So, regrettable offense, right? Written off too soon. You see it there. There are some QBs. I'm gonna give you some names. We're not gonna talk about all of them, but Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, we just talked about that. And I'm gonna throw these in here. People may, criticize it, but there's a story to it as well. Geno Smith and Mac Jones, right? Those are just a list of guys that we have seen come into this league, have high expectations, things doesn't work out. And then people start using the word bum or bus or sorry and all this stuff. And then they move on somewhere else, and then things just change, right? So are these franchises having these regrettable moments? Uh I think so to a certain degree. Definitely Baker Mayfield, Mo, and I'll get your opinion on this. But here's what I'm gonna say about some of these quarterbacks. And I think we really need to start. This is just my 2 cents that I'm gonna throw in here. When we start labeling players as failures or bums or bust or all that stuff that I don't like to call people that, and I don't say that because I'm like, you can't be the top 1% and then I can't do what you do for a living and I'm calling you a bum. But that's just my personal opinion about it. Um I think we really start needing to look at the totality and the organization, and really
Hmm.
look at when these players are failing, what is the organization doing to assist them? Because there is no one, and I mean no one, and I don't care what anybody say, I'm 1000% correct on this. There is no one NFL quarterback who has done it by themselves. You look at your 49ers with Joe Montana and Steve Young. They've had talent around them to accent to elevate what they do well. Aaron Rodgers, what he does well. Tom Brady, what he does well. The list goes on and on and on. These quarterbacks that we talk about, but you ain't got no quarterback that said, well, they had, Mo and Jelani and he still got them to the Super Bowl. Like, no, there's not a quarterback
Andrew Luck.
like that. So, and I know some people gonna say, "Oh, what about Trent Dilfer and all this stuff?" No, 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 no. Nah, I'm not gonna. I'm not even gonna. I'm not
You
even gonna
forgot
say it.
about Andrew Luck.
You got to have talent around you. So I just think it's time to look at when you get ready to label somebody like that. Go ahead and look and say, you know what? Has the organization been a hindrance for this person? Because look at the look at Cleveland. Cleveland, I do not trust them anything when it comes to quarterback because it's been proven time and time again. You shuffle quarterbacks in and out of that organization. You go and you pick up Deshaun Watson after he and had all this situation going on with him off the field, and you made a deal with the devil and everything, and karma came back and bit them in the butt on that. And then now you shipped off Baker, and we're talking about Baker for possibly MVP. So I'm saying there's other organizations around like this that are not doing services to to these quarterbacks. And I think the only reason we're not talking about the Giants, and I'll let you go, Mo, is because they got Jackson Dart. Because if they had not drafted Jackson Dart and Daniel Jones doing what he's doing less than a year after leaving that franchise, Giants fans would have been like, we could have did this with Daniel and Saquon, and we probably would have got Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
So
I mean, think about this. Think about what you may see from some of these young quarterbacks now that just come through the draft. Some of the quarterbacks that are on their rookie contracts, but with bad teams. You see it all the time. Look at Tennessee. They just lost a coach. And you know what's going to happen with Cam, right? what's going to happen with Cam? And so at this point, I'm like, 9 times out of 10, if you are a franchise and you are drafting a quarterback, you might as well go ahead and get you a head coach, because 9 times out of 10, your coach is trash. Just go ahead and start looking for a coach quarterback combo, right? Because Cleveland Browns, you got 5 quarterbacks on your roster you don't know what to do with. Tennessee, Indianapolis, even with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson, right?
Yeah.
Anthony Richardson may be good. We may not know. I'm not saying they're a bad organization, but I mean, Joe Burrow been sitting over there for years. Maybe he got to a Super Bowl. He one of them quarterbacks that you talk about. You can't do it by yourself. And yeah, he got pieces around him, but
Yes, he does.
he has pieces around him. It may not be the best organization. It may not be the best example, but you see what I'm getting at. These young
Yeah.
quarterbacks, in about 5 years, you're going to see somebody go to another team and all of a sudden, like, where he been? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Because with Baker Mayfield, it's like, what you heard about him early in his career was cockiness, arrogance, attitude, this, that, and the third. And now you're starting to hear it's a different narrative around him, right? Just a different narrative. Has he changed, or has he just shut up and played ball and moved on to a better organization?
I think he changed a little bit, but I think he's still, for the most part,
probably grew.
He is who he is.
But organizations help you grow. A great organization will help with the growth process.
Yep, exactly. You just said it. Great organization, because usually with a great organization, you got a good coach or a great coach, you got a good general manager or a great general manager, you got a good or a great owner. I mean, like, you have a good organization. Your 49ers have proved that. I mean, they continue to still have success, despite, whatever happens, in there, whether it's end however way you really want it to end, it's still having success. It's not like some of these other franchises out there. So yeah, I think, yeah. So but basically what we're saying is that before you start to call someone something, look at the totality of it, and really see what's surrounding, what's the history, what's the resume, because Adam Gase was the best thing since sliced bread when he was in Denver with Peyton Manning. He leaves. I think he went to Miami. Things didn't work out. Everybody was shocked. They got fired from Miami, and who picked them up? Who picked them up right after that? The Jets. And I think I want to say Sam Darnold was his quarterback, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I could be wrong, but
I think you're right.
It's just, you have to look at everything in the totality, ladies and gentlemen, is all I'm saying. That's it. I'm done.
You're right.
I'm done. Last thing we're going to talk about is it's week 6. Still 11 games left. But for some people, it's over, bro. It's over. They could change. They could. The stars and the moon might align. You see it there. Whose season is done? We're gonna go ahead and try and predict that today, ending on week 6. So Mo, I'm gonna just tell you. Maybe you got a team you want me to go. It's up to you.
Oh man, yeah. You know what?
You can go.
I'm
I can go.
I'm gonna run through a few quick ones, and I got half the league on my list.
And since you got half the league, let me just
half the league. Okay. Yeah, you go ahead and get yours off.
Okay. I hate to say this because he's not going to come back in time. The Cincinnati Bengals, man, put a fork in them. They're done. And here's why. I really felt that, because I talked about it on here, that Browning was going to be able to hold down the ship until Joe got back. Is he Joe? No. And now we definitely see that. Now he's nowhere near, Joe Burrow, which is crazy how just, one man, but that just goes to having that talent, but you got to have the one guy that can, utilize that talent as well. But how one organization can just go down the tube. They win their first 2 games, and now they've lost 4 in a row. You have that. You have the offense, is not really, producing like you thought. And this was the biggest thing for me, Mo. This is the last thing I want to say, is why I got the Bengals putting a fork in them. They're not going to have enough time, I don't think, but by the time Joe gets back. But then the other thing is that you mean to tell me, out of all the quarterbacks that you had out in the league that you could have traded for, you traded for Joe Flacco. And this is not a knock on Joe Flacco, but this is just the like we're talking about organization, like you were just talking about. You just seen this man, what, 2 hours from where y'all play? I think Cleveland and Cincinnati is 2 hours or less from each other. You just seen this man get demoted for a rookie quarterback who is still trying to figure things out. He didn't look that great in those 3 starts that he had. And they really thought, I guess, that he was just going to flip a switch like he did that one year where he won comeback player of the year. And it's 2 years later. And here's my thing. What kind of trouble are you in to trade for Joe Flacco and immediately have him start? You didn't have Browning, play another game, at least for Joe to get his feet wet. Like you basically told Browning is that, bro, we got to do something. And because you're not getting it, so we're going to get Joe Flacco. I know Browning is thinking like, what? Are you kidding me? Joe Flacco? Like, so I'm not saying to go get Kirk Cousins or anything like that, because that would have cost too much money to, and all that. But there was no other quarterback, maybe a young quarterback, something that, and I'm not saying that they didn't try, but if the option was, if our best option right now, because we're not even up against the trade deadline, if my best option right now, today, is Joe Flacco, I'm gonna still roll with Browning. The guys may be
I
mad,
agree.
but I can't think that there's a 80%, 90% of them dudes in there when they heard Joe Flacco was coming to the team, they were just like, oh snap.
Yeah, you
They
may have
still
lost a
felt
lot
that
of your
they
locker
had
room.
challenges.
You could have lost some of your locker room after that call.
Yeah, you could. So I got the Bengals. It's crazy. Normally they start 0-2 and then they make a run. You win the first 2, like, oh, we got to play. I was just talking about they're playing with house money. And then they lose 4 in a row. So I just don't see it getting better. I got to look at their schedule too. I didn't even look at their schedule. But go ahead, give me your
No, I'm
fork.
gonna switch mine up. I'm gonna switch mine up. I'm not gonna bother going. We're not gonna mention any teams that we already know. We don't really expect much from them anyway. I'm gonna go with some 4-2 teams. I'm going with some division leaders. I may be going with all division leaders right here. I'm going with division leaders. I'm gonna start you off with the Chargers. They do not feel elite. They don't feel elite right now. I don't know if you've seen their schedule, but they got a tough schedule. Kansas City looking like they waking up, and Denver just may be enough of a hiccup for them. I mean, you watch them play. I'm starting to see. I know everybody's singing Justin Herbert's praises right now, but I see a few little things, and I'm like, okay, you know what? He finna start turning into that player that just really becomes a little inconsistent and just inconsistent enough to cause you some problems down the stretch. So I'm gonna go with the Chargers. Don't chop my head off.
No, I'm not. That's bold.
Yeah, it's bold. I got one even more bold than that. I got the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they're done. And I'm going to tell you why I think they're done. I think they're done because right now they do not have an identity. They have no cohesion in the locker room right now. And I think Nick Sirianni is not the coach for that team. And right now, I think they've just going to really build a situation for themselves that they're just not going to be able to climb out of. That division is crazy right now.
Whoa. Are you're saying like the Eagles aren't going to make the playoffs?
I'm giving them a first round exit, if that. I think we about to watch the Eagles fall apart. I think we're about to watch them fall apart. I said it here first on October 13th. I don't know what time it is. I said it. You know I'm always right, JB. I'm always right. I'm always right about these things. The Eagles are about to fall apart, man.
You keep telling me fall apart. Gotcha. Okay.
And then I'm going to throw this last one out here, and then you probably won't see me no more for the rest of the show. San Francisco 49ers, man. We just we lead in the division right now. And I think, we probably can hold on to that lead for maybe 2 more weeks, but we don't have enough left. once we lost Fred Warner, man, I'm convinced that that team is cursed. I'm convinced we're cursed. I'm not finna go into that with that theory that I have, but
Yeah.
yeah, something ain't
Okay.
adding up, man. Something ain't
Okay.
adding up, man. We don't have any. If you say 49ers and you start thinking about some of the players that play for that team, none of them are active right now. None of them are active. It's like spending good money to go see Wu-Tang and and then Killer Army come out on the stage. That's what you got. So yeah, give me those 3 division leaders, man.
Wow.
Give me those 3 division leaders. Remember I said that. LA Chargers, Philadelphia Eagles, San Francisco 49ers.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
writing
I'm
that
gonna have to
down?
remember that one. I'm gonna have to remember that one.
Okay. All
You
right.
shocked me on that one. Okay. All
I
right,
know.
well.
I know.
Well, if you got somebody that you want to stick a fork in, put them in the comment section and let us know. And we'll see. We'll definitely find out if you're right here in the next few weeks. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we're done here. Talked a little bit about sports. I guess we found out Mo always right. I still haven't figured out that part, and I don't have any regrets. Right? Do I have any regrets? I don't think I do, but maybe I do. You know what? I do got one regret, but that's for another day. But we're gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Everybody, be good, be safe out there, and I'm gonna get emotional on y'all. Love somebody, man. Make sure you love them because it's just never know. You never know. All right. But nah, in all seriousness, man. Everybody be good out there. Have a good whatever it is that's going on. And we'll holler at y'all next time. 2 things as always. Stay positive and push forward. And I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.